Imagine you are a 17-year-old child, and one fine day, you decide to chase the London dream much earlier than the typical path that most Indian students follow. This is the story of Vinay Mann, a strategist leading projects and teams in today's IT competitive world. Our conversation will focus on how early international exposure helped him both professionally as well as personally. In this episode, you are going to learn the power of adaptability, which built his identity in India. I want to start our conversation with your favorite topic, IPL.
Okay, what about IPL?
Who do you think will win this time IPL trophy?
Oh, you're going to make it controversial, right?
I am, but keep in mind you can't be biased towards your favorite team. Plus, by the time we are live with this interview, the results will be already out. So it will be a challenge for you, a test for you, whether you are right or not as a strategist.
Okay, that is a very good question. If I be very candid about it, and this is not about choosing your favorites, right? Well, I will put it out that my favorite team is Punjab Kings, but I feel that Rajasthan Royals is looking really good,
Okay.
and most probably is my favorite to win this one. I would have said Mumbai Indians, but I don't think Mumbai Indians is clicking the way they are normally. So I believe Rajasthan Royals is going to win this.
Well, that will be a surprise for all of us.
Fingers
If it
crossed.
wins, then there is nothing to win for you except you are a good strategist. Talking about surprise,
Yeah.
you decided to go abroad at the sheer age of 17.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have never left your country before. You never left your family.
And never even left Gujarat before.
Never even left Gujarat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you even didn't left your state and you decided to fly
Move.
high and win that London dream.
Yeah.
What was the experience like?
Experience was, I would say, it was very good, as well as there were some parts that were very bad. So, what do you want to know about it?
Both.
The good part is it actually aligned well with what I wanted to achieve in my life, because I had my own dreams to achieve. One thing, the reason why I took it so early is because I believed if you have to take a risk, take risk early in your life, so that even if you fail, you have time to recover. So that was what the aim was about. And that is why I chose London at a very young age. Ideally, I see people, they probably take their chances after they have graduated or after they have already done masters here. That is completely their choice to make.
Yeah.
I will not say that there is a correct age to immigrate or go there for studies, but if I see myself at my current age, if you have asked me to go and restart your life in some other country for a few years, that would have been very difficult. So that is why I believe, when you're young, you take risk, and even if you fail, you have time to recover.
Hot blood vibe.
Yeah, hot blood vibe. Yeah.
Do you think that at the age of 17 you are just a child, obviously teenage, and you're becoming an adult? Okay, and you have never seen the world in reality, how it
Correct.
is and how the world works, how the money system and the entire gambit of system works. You decided to go at 17, and it is kind of a situation, an age where you are trying to build yourself, you are building your personality, your individuality. It's a different culture, different weather altogether. You said you never left Gujarat, so you never saw snow, to be specific, and London is known for its wintry weather kind of vibe, and everything was different. In fact, the language that we have learned throughout our life, English language, the dialect will be different because they'll be speaking British English. And we all learn British English throughout our education, but we are Indian, we have Indianized it, right? So these are the key, that that the students are aware about, that these are the key factors: language, cultural change, you're building your personality. What were the changes that you saw at the age of 17?
I actually come from a tier 3 city, right? And I'm
Hmm.
a typical middle class family boy.
Hmm.
So, one of the things that I have seen in India is, I don't know if that is the still the trend,
Hmm.
but I felt that I was very protected.
Yeah.
So there were very limited experiences that I've had before I went out.
Hmm.
So I was very protected. I came from a tier 3 city, where English is not very outspoken. Even if you're studying in an English medium school, English is not really outspoken
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
You communicate in your local languages.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
So that is one of the thing, is not just to like grasp what English is as a language, but to also grasp different accents. When you go there, people will speak in a way that you may not fully understand. So that
Yeah.
is a very big shock, first of
Hmm.
all. If your English is really good, and
Hmm.
this was not my English when I went there, to be honest.
You
This is
developed
very
eventually.
this is very polished version. I could say probably 4 or 5 words in a sentence. That is what I could do.
Hmm.
Again, coming to a very good. Luckily, I when I went there, it was a big shock. The very first shock you will have is the time difference.
Yeah.
Even if you want to like speak to somebody, you are like, okay, it might be 3 a.m. in the morning. So that is also there. Luckily for me, I met really good people. So a very good outcome of going abroad is that when you're like struggling,
Hmm.
not like, of course you're struggling and
Yeah.
you're thriving.
Hmm.
During that phase, the relationships you make are the relationship that are like going to be lasting long time.
Yeah.
Why that is? Because that is the lowest you're going to be, and if you can build on that relationship, the depth of that relationship is completely different.
Hmm.
So that is one really good thing about it. Coming to the cultural shock, I would say at first, when you're going there, people have this conception that I will simply go there, I will get a good job. How they show it in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Especially Saif Ali Khan movies. That is utter lie, I will tell you. It does not happen. They don't have the red carpet already there for you. Okay, you have landed to this country, now please come on the red carpet, let us give you a good job,
Yeah.
so that you don't have to really worry about the expenses. You don't have to do anything, everything is managed. You're living in a very comfortable home, 2 BHKs for one guy. That does not happen by a fluke. That is a very big misconception. So when you land there, the first struggle, or first, not exactly struggle, but the first milestone to achieve is to get a part-time job.
Hmm.
Because trust me, with all the currency difference that is going on, it is expensive in a way, if you think,
Yeah, it
because
is.
we know it's only £1 or $1, but it accumulates to a big sum
Yeah.
when
Conversion. Yeah.
you see. So even if you're like, because I'm middle class, so I can relate. People, they have some budget. So maybe the rich class may not be budgeting it that much, but we have to budget.
Yeah, we do.
So in order to get by, the
Hmm.
very first milestone you have to achieve is to get a part-time job, which may not be how they show it in the movies. It may not be at a very good places, office environments, something like that. You may have to like flip a burger at McDonald's. You may have to work at Subway.
Hmm.
You may have to even work at a car wash station.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared that this is an only phase in your life, and this will pass eventually. And this is one way of supporting yourself there, so that extra burden may not come on your parents or whoever is sponsoring your education. So that is.
Yeah, even the students who are from that very countries, even they work like that.
Yeah,
You will see them working in Burger King or any restaurant chains and all.
yeah,
So that is that, and one cannot deny that fact. In fact, that makes you grounded. It
that
teaches you
makes
very
sense.
well on how
Yeah,
to manage things as an
correct.
individual, which unfortunately our country as of now don't teach, because our education pattern is that we are more theoretical driven,
Mm,
as college starts at 7 in the morning and ends at 6 in the evening, so the child doesn't get time to go out there, work part time.
mm,
And that's where you learn.
correct.
um, you said about the cultural shock, about the weather and everything in general, but how did it shape you and today, who you are? How did it help you in shaping as Vinay Mann?
It actually, I would say that is the foundation on which I've built to be myself right now.
Hmm.
I cannot imagine my life without that experience, if I
Hmm.
be honest,
Hmm.
because whatever I am, I believe my life would have turned out very different. One thing I would talk about is what studying abroad is all about is building that resilience, because you are thrown in an environment which is not your familiar. You cannot. I mean, if you have family abroad, that is one thing. I did not have any family there. When I landed, I was completely on my. I mean, I obviously had people from my universities helping me out,
Yeah.
and the admin staff helping me out. But again, if you think it in a way, I was on my own, right? No family, nothing. I even today, if I'm stuck in a project, if I'm not getting the outcome that I want, I am not afraid.
Hmm.
If I mess up on something big, I am not afraid, because that part of life was that has shaped me in a way where I believe that anything is possible, and if I'm put in a position, I can achieve anything.
It taught you in a way that there's struggle,
Yeah,
but you need to know how to manage that, how to deal with that, and becoming an adaptable human.
yeah. I mean, think about it. I went there to study business management.
Yeah.
I got my degree from University of Sunderland. I came back. I worked in manufacturing, so that was little bit different. I mean, I was obviously in operations, but it was little different of what I studied. And after that, I got an opportunity in IT. If
Mm.
you think about it, when I went into IT, I did not know, what I stands for in IT, if I be honest.
Yeah.
And I have handled projects that are worth millions of dollars.
Mm.
So, that is what the zest of it actually. Adaptability comes naturally because, I am the same person who has worked in McDonald's, even though he was pampered all his life. And then he had to go and flip the burger, work very hard shifts. I have worked in supermarkets. So things like that, changes your perception of life. You become more hardened, and you become more battle tested, and you build up a mindset where you think that, okay, if I can get through this, I can get through anything in life.
Mm. That is true. I mean, you can, in fact, certain stories that happened during that time when you were abroad, from which the mistakes that you made, or the situations that you went through, that taught you in a manner in which the formulas of which you can apply in today's in your corporate world where you are. Going back to that 17-year-old boy, I want to know about, usually there is this, when students go there, either you are going for post graduation or at similar like you going for their bachelors, they kind of miss their home, their family. So
Hmm.
there is that emotional factors that play, and you have friends, you create new friends, right? Some
Yeah.
students are introvert in nature.
Hmm.
What was your experience like? Were you an introvert too?
I would not say I was an introvert, but yeah, I did have trouble initially to make friends.
Hmm.
One thing I would say that students are very lucky today than we were, because when I was there, the only tool that you could use to communicate back home was Skype,
Yeah,
and that was
ages ago.
very recent. At that point of time, we felt like, oh, it is such a blessing.
Yeah,
And nowadays you have, hundred of tools that you can communicate easily with your family with ease. I mean, there is no blockers anymore. You don't have to get the calling cards that would, cost you big time.
hmm.
That how it used to be.
Hmm.
So yeah, life is quite easy. So in a way, I don't feel that with today's technology in hand, I may not have felt. It would have been easier, I believe, for me to get, when, because there are a lot of things that are happening simultaneously. So you need uh, a kind of comfort where you can vent out things in a positive sense.
Yeah,
To build that kind of comfort with a person that you have just met in a whole different country may take time,
yeah, it will. Yeah,
right? Because relationships do take time.
yeah, that's
But at the same time, you have that comfort that, okay, I can simply WhatsApp call my mother, my sister, my girlfriend, my brother, my, brother from another mother. So everything is there, na? So that way it becomes easier for you.
yeah. It's like mom is just one phone call away if
Yeah.
there is some tension, and just you can just cry it out. And like, okay, now I can figure out how to do it with, because I mean we Indians are more emotionally involved
Yeah.
individuals than other country people. That's what I have observed based on my personal experience. I might be wrong also, but this is what I have observed, that Indians are more emotionally, and that is a good thing, to be emotionally more available.
Hmm.
Coming back to your decision
Yeah.
to come to India,
Hmm.
uh, what was it like? What made you decide? Did you think that there was more opportunity here in India for you, or what was it like? What went through your mind?
And there were few things I believe that happened. The first thing was, because obviously it may not be the case right now, because when I went there, there was this huge, I mean, Lehman Brothers were down, there were economical crisis everywhere. So things were hard. Now, my perception was that I do my graduation there, and then I did not wanted to like do masters straight away.
Hmm.
My thing was like I have gained that education, let me apply that education, learn how it is applied to the real life scenarios, right?
Hmm.
At at the same time, I had experience from working as well,
Yeah.
part time.
Hmm.
So I wanted to apply all those what I've learned and get a job, and then probably do masters with some kind of specialization that would help me excel my career further. So graduation, you get the foundation done, you
Take a work experience
work
and
experience to make sure that you get into that environment.
hmm.
Your field is set, your career for next 10 years, 15 years is set.
Hmm.
Then you think, okay, let me do masters to kind of, align with what I want to achieve in maybe 5 years,
Hmm.
and how can I reach that, and what specialization I may need to reach that. So that was my end. People may have a different perception about it. So that is why I believe. Um, so that was my plan. Unfortunately, at that point of time, I had only two options: either leave or stay and do masters.
Hmm.
I obviously did not wanted to like just do masters for the sake of doing masters. I
Hmm.
wanted it to add value to my life.
Yeah.
So I had to take hard decision that, okay, if I cannot get a job here right away, I may have to like shift back, maybe start over. I was not afraid to start over. The only thing was, I believe, to showcase to people what I can do, because there were many people in my life, they were skeptical about why are you coming back, you know,
Yeah.
because this is like old parent mentality that if you have gone out, you just stay out.
Yeah, it's societal notion of
Yeah,
settling down there, but that's not the reality. I mean, there is opportunities here back home as well.
yeah, that is how it is. So I came back. Luckily, in like 2 or 3 months' time, I was able to get a good job in manufacturing, and that is how my career started. And eventually, I felt okay, enough with manufacturing because it was, very manly. Okay, I was like, okay, I cannot do operations like this. No offense to people who opted for manufacturing as a specialization, but it was not my cup of tea. So I changed my career. I went into the IT. When I went into the IT, I was sure about IT. That is how I did my masters, and I did it in ITSM. So that ITSM is really helping me out today to get exposure and
Hmm.
to get to that level where a person would consider my profile for an interview.
So your decision to, come back to India was successful. We can say that because,
You can say that, yeah.
I mean, you are right in a way also that it does help you and it does gives you an edge and understanding about the world, how actually the industry that you are part of works.
Yeah.
If directly after bachelor's you do masters, you are not aware, you are just learning the basic of theories, principles in your bachelor's, and then a bit depth in your masters, but you won't have that industry experience, so you won't be able to apply it and understand it that neatly. Talking about edge,
Hmm.
so you have a global exposure, right? When you came back to India and found a job, did it give you an edge in the industry because you were of, come on, you had a British degree?
Um, I would not say that a British degree itself gave me that edge, but I do believe I have an edge because if I come to today, the projects that I handle, I use a lot of learnings that I gain from working in McDonald's in UK,
Okay.
and I apply those learnings to the projects that I do today.
Wow. Not expected that as an answer.
Because imagine, because luckily for me, I worked at in London, one of the busiest McDonald's in the UK.
Hmm.
So, and when I'm talking about busiest McDonald's, their volume was 10,000, 15,000 pounds per hour.
Wow.
That much people used to come in. You will not get a place to even stand. That much crowded it used to get.
Oh my god.
So when you have crowds, big crowds coming your way, and they want food, they are all hungry, and you have to like make sure that the process, whatever it is a physical process obviously, but it should not break in between.
Hmm. It needs to be
So you
streamlined.
you learn that how you can optimize that process by positioning certain stations
Hmm.
in a way that you can serve or serve the customer faster.
Hmm.
Imagine if you have a till in front of you,
Hmm.
but the for fries a guy has to go all the way back in the kitchen and get you fries. You
Hmm.
cannot do that. You
Yeah.
need a fry station stationed at a place where it is easily accessible,
Yeah.
so the process becomes faster.
Hmm.
The same concepts are utilized in today's project management
That you learn from McDonald's.
that I learned from McDonald's.
Oh, that's
And I
amazing.
have about more than 95% success rate.
That's a very good number.
So it is not just like degrees that take you there, because degree is just what you learn, right?
Hmm.
Eventually, you're going to forget what you learn.
Yeah. Until
right?
unless you apply it to
Until
real
unless
world.
you apply to your real life. I mean, I did sigmas and x plus b and all that. I have never used those formulas. I don't even know how to do it now.
I don't
But
remember what they're
if I
called.
see a project, I know where it is breaking, how much
Huh.
cost it is going to, you will have to endure because of that project breakage. I know what is going to be the ROI of the project. I know when the process breaks. So all those things are part of those learnings that I've had.
So in a way, it is also what I am picking up from that is I think it is what here our education system, as I said earlier, lacks. For now, I think we are working towards that goal. India as a country is obviously in the education sector, but I think that theoretical more, you have that hourly part time. I think in the UK it's 20 hours per
20
week,
hours, yeah. I
and
don't know if it is changed now, but at my,
as yeah, it's 20 hours per week, and
Mhm.
other countries have different hours. So
Yeah,
that 20 hours of week is also your education. That is part of your degree. It's
yeah,
not just that you how much hours you spend in your classroom only. It's also about how you work in real world.
yeah.
So it's on that. Oh. Coming back to the present, I have scrolled through your LinkedIn account. As always, I have to stop my guest
Yeah.
to bring back more questions, right? You have taken lot of certifications.
Hmm.
I mean, every month I see that there is a post about you taking a certification. Um, you are currently leading teams dealing with projects, as you said, $1 million projects, and managing so many systems. And in this IT competitive world, you are leading in India. Do you think those certifications are helping you while you are working? And if you have to suggest to the professionals or to the students, what would you suggest that never stop learning?
I would say that yes, never stop learning.
Hmm.
Observation is the key component that makes a really good leader.
Hmm.
You may not be as titled as leader,
Hmm.
but in a way, when you leave your house, you become a leader. You become a leader of your life, right?
Hmm.
So, certifications, I would not suggest just for the namesake you do a certification.
Yeah.
I know I am doing a lot of certifications, but the idea behind that is to learn new things
What's going on in the
because
market?
yeah, because IT is at this point of time with AI and everything, it has become very volatile as
Yeah.
an industry. So you have to keep to get that edge. You have to keep learning not just what is there today, but what may come in the future also.
Hmm.
So that learning is the reason behind all those certifications that I feel that will help me. And yeah, I think that answers your questions, right?
Yes, it does. I have seen it a lot, and I was like, there must be some story behind because even I believe in taking a lot of certifications. I'm learning here and there. There's so many things going on in the marketing world. AI, as you said correctly, is kind of bringing what is that word we call shatter the glass ceiling shatter to the industries, all the industries, specifically IT industry. Technically not taking over, but that's the misconception of people that AI is taking over. And let's be honest, students are really scared of not only students but parents and professionals as well. What would your advice will be to the future generation?
I would advise not be afraid of AI. I tell you what is changing
Hmm.
in today's world, right? And why I got that edge that I have. There is two things. When you go and when you handle things like that, you become street and book smart. So ideally, what happens is when you are working, people will know because see, majority of the knowledge base is already covered with AI. So if your foundation is only theoretical, people will know it is theoretical.
Hmm.
If you have taken ownership and you have applied it practically, that shows up as well. So
Yeah.
if a person who's having like 15, 20 years of experience, they will see it very clearly whether you have worked on something or not.
Hmm.
So bluffing will become difficult.
Hmm.
Ideally,
Yeah.
what happens is people will list 100 things on their CV that I have done this and that, but in practical, they have not done it. That era will go away because knowledge base will be taken care by AI. So you don't have to learn everything, memorize everything. You need to see how it can be applied to a real life.
Yeah.
Memorize only the things that enables you to apply it practically
Hmm.
and gain that experience. So if you can achieve that, you don't have to be afraid of AI. That is first thing. Second thing is, with my experience, I would say, because I dealt with people from all walks of life, not only all walks of life, but all kind of countries also,
Yeah.
all the different
Hmm.
ethnicities also. One superpower that it enabled in me was that it is very easy for me to gel with people. I can have a conversation, I can hold up that conversation with an 80-year-old who is born and brought up in US,
Hmm.
has no clue how Indian culture works. And at the same time, I can speak to a 10-year-old sitting in probably New Zealand or in China, and I can hold that conversation also. And I believe why that is a superpower, because essentially, whether you are working at a very high level, like a prime minister or a scientist, or whether you are a street vendor, your domain can be different, but essentially, all jobs are people management.
Hmm.
So with even AI intervention, I believe that percentage may shift maybe 5-10%, but it will still be relevant because all jobs will essentially remain people centric only.
Yeah. AI cannot manage people. That's where people step in, where the management steps in.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to learn in today's time.
It can provide you the tools, but it cannot.
Help you deal in how to communicate. It
Yeah.
cannot communicate on your behalf,
Yeah.
basically. So communication, management are the hero products.
And
I'm
not just
going to
that.
say.
I mean, reading the room,
Yeah.
that is also there, na?
The psychology part,
Yeah.
understanding.
How to react with different set of people
Hmm.
who may perceive it in a different way. That is also a skill.
Yeah. We have talked about you being a 17-year-old, you coming back to India, you
Mm.
achieving so many things here in India, working towards it. Now, my favorite question, one very important question that we as individuals in today's time need to step forward and work towards, which you are very beautifully doing it. Um, it is giving to the world that has given you so much, to your motherland. And you yourself, you are working in a corporate, in the IT sector, in the leadership role, and all and all. But something that you learned from your journey back in the UK, you brought it here back in India, and that is, started the therapy concept. You go meet kids and talk to them, and you want to start your own foundation about the
Yeah.
same thing, and helping those kids, and any individual who is talk about, and you believe in the concept of therapy and mental health support, and you are always active to volunteer for it.
Mm.
So how is it going so far, and what are you looking for, and if somebody wants to volunteer and be part of your team in this volunteering concept, what would it be?
So I believe that is a very vast question.
It
But
is
if
three-part
I
question.
if I if I try and answer it very short and sweet, I believe when you reach at a certain level where you become little bit satisfied. I mean, I don't think that
That will never
everyone
happen. That will never
we will be
happen.
100% satisfied with where you
We
are.
a human never reach, I believe, in the age of attainment.
Yeah. So with little satisfaction, I believe for many comes a sense of responsibility.
Hmm.
Automatically comes, and when you like get married and became a father figure to somebody or something like that, your perspective of life also changes. And with that, I felt that there are a lot of kids.
Hmm.
When I became a father, I saw that, I became more curious about how kids are today.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I did not like that, the gap, especially in communication and in relationship, that kids are facing today.
Hmm.
I will not blame the parents also, because I'm a parent and I know parenting is very hard. Okay.
I would be no.
So I believe, if I'm in a position to help, and that help can be either guiding somebody to take correct to make that career decisions, or just to sit there and listen to whatever problems or things that they are facing or feeling, I would like to help. And with that goal, I believe that talking to people, because I mean, technology in a way is very good,
Yeah.
but in a way it has created that distance also. And unfortunately, life has become very busy,
Hmm.
so you don't have many people to talk to, right? So what happens essentially is, you try and go and win life, right?
Hmm.
You try and gain the small victories, but in order to gain something, you have to give up something, and nobody talks about that. And what
Yeah.
happens is that just gets build up, and it just bursts out. So that, why? Because eventually you will have to, whatever emotional luggage you're carrying, there should be a good way to vent it out also,
Hmm.
so that you don't get frustrated when you're trying to go for the wins. So that is why I want to do that.
I remember a conversation where you once told me that not everybody can afford a drug therapist.
Yeah,
So I want to be that
I want to be that.
bridge between, you know, the
Yeah,
kid and the therapy that they need.
yeah.
One last question before I let you go. One book that you would recommend to the light of tomorrow, and a film.
um I would I cannot think of one book. I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
So just talking about one book would not be the
Would be
correct
unfair to
answer
the
to
other
it.
books.
But currently, I'm reading a book known as Blue Ocean Strategy.
Hmm.
It talks about how to create new markets.
Hmm.
For example, when Netflix came, right, we had companies like Blockbuster that were renting out CDs
Yeah.
and movies and
Yeah.
content, right?
Hmm.
YouTube was not famous at that point of time. It was available, but it was not very accessible at that point of time. What next Netflix essentially did was create a new market where you can, stream the content online. And with technology taking over, with internet speeds becoming really well, because we know that we used to like sit on torrent to download an episode that would take more
Telegram,
than one.
torrent,
Yeah,
you
that would
name
take
it.
more than an hour, right?
Yeah.
and
Overnight.
and you can stream it real time
Yeah.
with the internet that we have today. So in a way, they saw an opportunity. They saw that, yeah, internet is going to become faster, because we are shifting towards VoIP technology.
Yeah.
And they made a new market for themselves. So the strategy talks about how to identify those things, what kind of mindsets you need to make in
Hmm.
order to achieve that. So that is a really good
Book.
book. And one other book that I read recently was about emotional intelligence,
Hmm.
why EQ is more important than an IQ. So yeah, these two
Yeah.
books I will definitely recommend. And
A Sheldon cannot be there in real world. It is not practical.
it is not practical. Yeah. Not saying that such people may not be there, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but still.
but still, yeah, it they will have a very difficult life, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed. If you don't have that, agreed.
Yeah.
True that.
And coming to movie, it depends honestly, because for example, some people will call certain movie a propaganda.
Hmm.
But if you just follow that movie, you see how much resilience the main character goes through, right? For movie, see that movie that resonates with you.
Can I suggest one?
Yeah.
You said this, so I remember the film that I watched in my college days back,
Hmm.
called as Roma.
Hmm.
It's, I believe, a Spanish movie which was filmed in 2017-16, and it is a whole black and white film.
Hmm.
It's about a female protagonist, and she's fighting her way to the world, and she's house help, and the way her story revolves in that film, I mean, it's beautiful and it teaches you a lot
Hmm.
of meanings. The adjectives that we use here and there in our daily life, it's actually how you need to implement, from where you need to learn. That film is really good, you should watch.
I will definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and all the very best.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.